I'm going to move on to the other, I think, problem that you might find, I'm not saying you will, but you might find with this left hand, and that's the distances that the left hand has to cover from the bass note to the harmony note. Now it's alright if I can memorize it and look down at my hands, that's fairly comfortable, but they're quite big movements, aren't they? If you notice, there's a big movement up and then a big movement back down again, and that happens for 3 bars, could call it 4 bars. So I'm going to show you now how you can use the quick cover practice to learn the distances, to measure the distances. Now the point of the quick cover, or the principle behind the quick cover, is that we're playing at a really slow tempo, but we're making fast, precise, accurate movements. So we're building in the reflex for speed at a slow tempo. You can't think of it when it's fast and when the right hand's on the top. So what I do, I hold down my first note, and I'm not worried about rhythm for the first part of this process, and I look at where I have to go next, and I can see my D and my A, where I have to go next, and when I'm ready, I move really quickly to the surface of the keys. I don't play. This is again quite a challenge, because people think, well, as soon as they arrive they play. Don't play. Move. Yeah, I'm happy that the distance I covered directly and correctly, so then I can play it. Now I've got to make another movement down to my E, so I'm seeing the E. I'm ready to move. Yes, I measured that distance precisely, so I got there directly and correctly, and then I'm able to play. Now I'm holding that E down, and I'm looking at my next chord, visualizing it on the keyboard, visualizing my hand with the right fingers over the surface of the key, Z, and when I'm ready, yes, I'm happy with that. But let's say I weren't happy with that. Let's say something like this happened. I'm aiming for this chord here. Supposing I do this. Did you notice I overshot and then came back? Don't count that, because the movement, it was not direct, it was not correct. You see there, it took me a while to find the notes. I was fumbling for the notes, so that doesn't count either. Did you notice I didn't play? I only play if the movement was correct and direct. So let me go back and do that again. Lots of concentration going on here. Yes, I'm happy, I can play it. Now let me carry on this process without talking, because I think I've probably talked enough. My fourth finger wasn't quite centered on the B flat, so even though I would have played the right notes, I did play the right notes, I'm going to go back and do that one again, because I want to feel my fourth finger in the center of the B flat, not hanging over the edge one way or the other. That's good. I think I could do that even better. Yes, I'm very happy with that. Don't worry, I'm nearly finished. So that's the first 3 bars measured, the distance is measured with the process I call quick cover. Now let me do the next stage of that process, which is springboarding, which is where I'm going to now jump off the first note and land in the second. So I get myself ready on my D, and when I'm ready to play, I use that note as a springboard up. I propel myself out of the key and land on the next chord. Let me show you that again. Very free movement. My arm is completely free, and I'm happy that I measured that distance correctly. You can hear it. Now I'm going to lift the F and the A up so that I'm now sitting on the keyboard surface, and I'm going to use those 2 notes as a springboard to get me down to the E. And the movement is free and enjoyable, and here's a really important point about playing the piano. Every movement we make on the keyboard should be enjoyable physically. The sound should also be good quality sound. I should enjoy hearing that sound. It's not noisy, it's not bangy, so it feels good and it sounds good. And I'm going to do the same thing from this E. This is a bigger jump. Now I was happy with that, but let's say that had gone wrong. Let's say I landed like this. first instinct is, our first instinct is to correct. Don't correct. That may sound like a false information, but don't correct. Just land there, stay there, and analyze what it was that you didn't do. So all that I didn't do, my thumb undershot by, I guess, about a millimetre. So it played a C natural instead of a C sharp. So then I use that information. So I go back to my previous springboard and I think, thumb, please go to C sharp. And then I'm able to correct it by conscious command. So then from this chord, now let me show you the rest of it without too much talking. See how that works? So that's springboarding. One last process. If you're still struggling with it after that, I'm going to give you something else that will certainly help you. And I call this selective landing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my bass note and then I'm going to come up to just the top note of my chord. All right? So. That's the journey from thumb to five. Sorry, from five to thumb, I should say. Now let me look at that now slightly differently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my thumb note as I did before, but I'm going to touch in the note that I didn't play. In this case, two notes. So bottom note, top note, remaining two notes. And I notice I'm really enjoying this. I'm getting into this. So if you're enjoying your practicing, you'll be retaining what you're doing and you'll be absorbed by it. You'll want to go on forever, and the next thing you know you'll look at the clock and you've spent half an hour doing this. I'm going to do it now the other way. I'm going to play my bass note to the lowest note of my chord and then touch in the other notes after. Bass, bottom note, top two notes. I think you've probably got the idea. I'm going to have yet one more bit of fun with it. I'm going to now go for the middle notes. Since this is a two-note chord, there is no middle note. But here I've got a three-note chord. Middle note. And that really shows me, this is what the second finger's doing. So now I've got those movements beautifully organised, and you'll probably find after a little bit of practice like this that you can do it from memory, which is fantastic. And then when I add my right hand, I can concentrate on my right hand and concentrate on creating a beautiful singing line without worrying about my left hand. So those are quick cover, springboarding and selective landing, types of practice that you can use not only in this piece but any piece that you've got any kind of a jump whatsoever.